Initiating login sequence. Welcome to Alyx's world.
Welcome to Alyx's world, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I am your host, Alyx, just Alyx, and this is my All Elite Wrestling AEW Dynamite review for August 5th, 2020. We are a month away from All Out Free Brace, and I am very excited for what is to come. The lineup is looking really strong a month in advance. I am very excited for next week's episode as well, which is going to be headlined by Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho. And after tonight, I'm super excited for that match. That match is going to be massive. AEW has done an excellent job building up Orange Cassidy as a mainstay on the roster, as a mainstay in AEW, in wrestling. And Chris Jericho has a lot to do with that too. AEW is making stars. That's one thing I will give to the show over WWE. While NXT is also making stars, unfortunately, NXT is a byproduct of the horrible company run by some old, out-of-touch, senile old men. So as good as NXT is, when they get to the main roster, it's not going to matter. There is no ceiling for AEW. The sky is the limit. I'm very excited for what we have coming up very soon. Coming down the pike, if you will. But we're going to get into the show. But before we get to that, let's pay some bills. If this is the first time you're watching me, do me a favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. While you're at it, help expand the brand by doing all the following things. Like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter at VX1. Alyx's World. Also give me a follow on Instagram. Email me at justalyxsworld@gmail.com. Business inquiries just to say hi. You know the drill. Also, buy yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Get you an old school Deluxe Man t-shirt for you throwback fans. Or get you a new school Alyx's World t-shirt. Also, you can donate using PayPal, Patreon, and yes, Super Chats are officially on. Ladies and gentlemen, you will have the opportunity to have your opinions heard and shown live here on the stream if you donate a little something something. All opinions will be showed, no matter what donation you give. One last thing. I want to give an update to my theme song cover. So those of you who watch this stream, I'll be talking about this on Friday as well for my SmackDown stream, and then Sunday for my Q&A stream. I got a strike for this channel because of my cover for Chris Jericho's theme song. This is not from Chris Jericho or Fozzy or the company that runs Fozzy. This is from a different third-party company that's apparently just doing whatever the hell they want. It's very clear that cover was not a ripoff. It was not me taking the song and literally pasting it on my channel. It was an original rendition of the song, completely different, not the same song. It was a straight up cover, as pure as a cover can be. I should not have gotten that strike, so I have to appeal it now. And right now, the appealing process hasn't reached YouTube. They're still reviewing the appeal, the counter notification. Until that happens, I'm sorry, no more covers. No more covers for YouTube. I'll still do it on Twitter and Instagram. You'll have to follow me on there. But if you don't have those and you still want those covers, the last place to get it is Patreon. All my covers are right now on Patreon. Even the ones that are on my second channel that got deleted. The Batista and Paige one. I don't have the Dusty Rose one. I gotta get that when the channel gets back, hopefully. But everything else, including the Chris Jericho theme song cover, is on my Patreon. You can get it for $5 a month. Easy. Very cheap. I might have to keep it that way for a long period until the strike gets covered. Because, look, if they don't approve this the counter notification, they better. It's no reason. There is no reason why I should have gotten the strike. There's no reason behind it. But if they don't accept it, I'm gonna have to strike for 3 months. And if that's the case, fine. I will not do any more theme song covers until that strike is cleared, because that's stupid. It's dumb that I am paying a penalty that I should not be paying. It's disgusting. Theme song covers fall under fair use, especially if it's transformative. There was literally, like, if you take my theme song cover of Chris Jericho and compare it to his song, it's literally, yes, it uses the same lyrics and same melodies, but it's a different song. It's different. I don't understand how I got the strike, and it's very frustrating. It's frustrating to me, who's a musician, who loves doing this stuff, who has a passion in doing this stuff. I get punished for following the rules. And YouTube just bends over and lets it happen. They just let these companies come in and punish people like me, the small creators. And although my channel is not necessarily small compared to the PewDiePies and everybody else that has 1 million subscribers, I'm a small creator. So I get booted in the ass over some bullshit. And I hate it. I hate it because it makes me not want to do it anymore. It discourages me from doing it. When you tell me that this is okay and this is okay and this is okay, and then I do it and then it's not okay, it just makes me go, well, I don't trust you now. I don't trust the system that we have. So call this sour grapes, call this whatever, me bitching about or whining about whatever. Fine. Have at it. But I have a passion for this stuff. So I have a right to complain. If you want those covers, go to my Patreon. $5 a month. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'll say it again on Saturday, and I'll say it again on Sunday. I'm not going to say it anymore after that. On Monday, I'm just going to say, go to my Patreon for covers. And that's it. We're going to leave it at that. Let's talk about AEW. Let's get into some positive stuff. So, sorry, I had to get that off my system. I just hate it when people who are in power you just like to bully us small creators. You know what I mean? AEW was a great show tonight. I thought the first hour was a little shaky at first. The only complaint I have was a formatting issue. They opened up with that 12-man tag match and then followed it with another tag match. Like, really? Like outside of that booking decision, I was cool with it. I didn't appreciate the fact that we followed a 12-man tag. Like, why are you gonna follow that with a regular tag? Outside of that little questionable structure, formatting issue, the show was great. I especially loved that second hour. That second hour was absolute fire. First hour was solid. It was solid, but that second hour is what carried the show. Amazing stuff from everyone involved. Let's get down to it. Commentary is still Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone. I was going to say Jerry the King Lawler. Jesus, imagine that. Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Taz. As you guys know, Excalibur was not on last week's show and not this week's show. He apparently chose to remove himself. It wasn't a decision by AEW or management. They just basically told him, hey, if you want to stay home, go ahead. And he chose to stay home. He removed himself because he didn't want to be the center of the center of attention because of what he was in trouble for. In case you guys don't know, you've been living under a rock. Some old footage of him using the N-word as a TV wrestling angle for PWG surfaced. Him and Kevin Owens, by the way, Kevin Steen, they both used the N-word in a storyline with black wrestlers, one of them being Human Tornado. And it basically went viral, and he got in trouble for it. I don't even think he got in trouble for it. AEW was like, whatever, but he got in trouble with it on social media. People were slamming him for it, because that's what people do nowadays. People are so goddamn bored and so quick to throw around the cancel culture weapons. It's so stupid. Look, here's what I think. if he was told to do it, if that was the storyline, then he's good. Yes, he could have honestly stood up and said, I'm not saying it. He should have stood up and said, I'm not saying it. But he didn't do it on his own volition. He was told to say it. That was the storyline. The company that he works for said, this is what you're going to do. We want you to use a racial slur and make it racial. And that's what they did. And it was, I think they talked about it with Human Tornado. Didn't it come from Human Tornado himself? It was a mess. He shouldn't have gotten in trouble for it. It shouldn't even be this big of a deal. All right, this isn't, I'll be here all day trying to get an example. All right, this isn't Hulk Hogan who got caught saying it in a private setting. This is exactly like what happened with Vince McMahon. When Vince McMahon came on, what episode? Was that Raw or pay-per-view? I think it was a pay-per-view, whatever. Vince was walking down the hallway. He walked into John Cena. He's like, keep it up, keep it up, my ninja. And then you see Booker T walk in. Tell me I didn't just hear that. He didn't just say that, whatever the hell. It was one of those things. Yeah, it was fine for him. It really shouldn't have been fine for him. It was scripted. I'm actually more mad at that. Because he controlled that script. And he should have said, no, we are not going to do this. I bet you he regrets. He massively regrets saying it. But that's worse than what Excalibur went through. So, let him come back next week. If he has to put out an apology, put out the apology, move on. That's it. You already apologized for it, but just make it public, put it out, and just come back, dude. You're good. Just come on back. Alright. Let's do it. Y'all ready? Are you ready? Let's get to it. 12-man tag. We have the Dark Order, which includes our boy Brody Lee, gotta get his name right, Mr. Brody Lee. Okay, so let's get these other names. We got Colt Cabana, Evo Uno, Stu Grayson, and then it's like 9 and 5 and 11 and 13 and 54, and it's just regular names. I think one of them was Alan Angels. But whatever. Yeah, it was 6 of the Dark Order taking on FTR. That's Dax and Wheeler. The Elite. Kenny Omega. Matt Jackson. Nick Jackson. Or the Young Bucks. And Hangman Adam Page. So, I thought this match was crazy. This was a very fun, fast-paced car crash match. Exactly what it needed to be. No complaints for it whatsoever. I also love the underlining story that the teammates let Omega by himself inside the ring when I think it was Dax Harwood. It was Scott Dawson, so it's Dax Harwood, right? Yeah, okay. So he got hurt, so they helped him to the back. And they left Omega inside the ring to fend for himself. So they're doing a very nice job, a settled job of setting up Omega's heel turn, which they should. I'm looking forward to the eventual heel turn that he'll go through. He should go through with it. He should turn heel. They're not going to turn... Look, they could try to turn Hangman Page heel. It's not going to work. I can tell you that right now. He's too over. He's too good. He's too charismatic. And the more heel he is, the more awesome he becomes. The day they had him come out and do that whole hold my beer angle where he gave the beer to Matt Jackson and then did the buckshot and then took the beer and walked away. That was it. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm not hating this guy. He's too good. Omega, though, there's a reason for that heel turn. He hasn't been himself. The guy came in as supposedly the greatest wrestler in the world, and kayfabe-wise, he's bombed. As a performer, he kind of still is, but as a wrestler on TV, kayfabe-wise, he's been a failure. He's bombed. He has not been the same Omega he was when he won the championship in New Japan. He hasn't. And I think we need to get that Omega back. How do we get him back? turn him heel. And then that Omega can beat Jon Moxley. But what also helped this match was eventually the other teammates came out, except for the FTR, that team. But the Elite came out to help Omega, and they still lost because it was 6-on-4. You're not going to win the match 6-on-4. And Hangman Page took the loss. He ate the pin. And it was Brody Lee who gave him that crazy discus clothesline. So, hey, I will say this. Dark Order is starting to grow on me. AEW stuck with it. They finally gave it some legs with Brody Lee in charge. It's working out. And they put Anna Jay's fine ass in there. So, it's good. Let's keep it going. I like it. It's like, how do I put this? It's its own thing, but it's like a mixture between Right to Censor and Raven's Flock. I like it. It's really good. It's better than what it was before. Like last year, I would have been like, get rid of this. You couldn't get rid of this fast enough. I hated it. I hated the Dark Order last year. Now it's like, I don't hate it as much. I actually kind of like it. Look at AEW. They stuck with it too. They stuck with it. Damn it, did they stick with it. And they followed this up with this crazy 6-man tag that was off the charts, action, balls to the wall, was followed up by a regular tag match between the Best Friends and Proud and Powerful. Now, apparently there was a Moxley promo before this. I must have missed it. Yeah, apparently Jon Moxley did cut a promo, basically telling Darby Allin to stay down. Because I know what it's like to live in your shoes. I was you back in the day. What Darby Allin is who I was back in CZW. And if I was to talk to that guy, I would tell him to stay down. Interesting. So, I missed that promo. And if I would have saw it, I don't know, I probably would still have the same complaint. That you shouldn't have followed up that tag match with another tag match. How many tag matches were on the show? Because then they had Cody and Matt Cardona. Yeah, Matt Cardona. There were too many tag matches on the show. That might be the only issue I had. They honestly should have just done... I would have done Matt Cardona versus the librarian or something like that. Like some other jobber. You didn't really need to do 3 tag matches in a row like that. That was weird. I guess that's why I felt the first hour felt inferior. It just felt like one big, long-ass series of tag matches following that 12-man tag. And none of them came even close to comparing to it. So, yeah, that was, again, a formatting issue they should have fixed. So, the Best Friends took on, that's Chuck Taylor and Trent, took on Proud and Powerful from the Inner Circle. Ortiz and Santana. Not gonna lie, kind of dozed off watching this. That's what happens when you follow a 12-man tag match. But I do know the Best Friends beat Proud and Powerful, and then they followed that up with Proud and Powerful attacking the Best Friends' mother's car, making it more personal. Here's what I would have done. I personally would have had Santana and Ortiz. Well, I guess you had to have them lose here to give them motivation to attack the card. Because they were on a win streak. Then the Best Friends ended their win streak. And then Proud and Powerful got back at them by destroying the card. Okay. Fair enough. I guess this was the way to go. Could we... I don't know. Like... There has to have been a better way to do this. It just... Okay, well... Maybe we could have done, again, Zack Ryder or Matt Cardona in a one-on-one match and put that here. And then maybe done Cody and Matt Cardona in a different setting on a different night. I don't know. It's just a lot. But yeah, Best Friends got the victory. Proud and Powerful destroyed Trent's mom's car, which is going to lead to a rematch sometime down the line. Sure. We'll go with that. Let's talk about Long Island IZ, or hashtag always ready, the guy formerly known as Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona. He looks fucking amazing. Matt Cardona is in the best shape of his life. I love the way he looks. That man did nothing but exercise. Or probably do some steroids. But still, like, him and Jon Moxley both, when they went on them breaks or they were off TV for a long period of time, they put their bodies in the best shape of their careers. My goodness. Wow. I love it. I love it. It's good stuff. And he carried this match between him and was it him and Cody? Yeah, it was him, Cody versus the Beaver Boys. That's Alyx, Reynolds, and John Silver. So yeah, they just basically had Cody get his ass kicked, because that's the story. Cody is not on his A game. He's off his game. And Matt Cardona had to come in and basically whip their ass by himself, which he did. And he won with the Rough Rider, or it's now being called Radio Silence. 1, 2, 3. So he looked strong. And I love that after the match. And I wanted to talk about this too. So after the match, Matt Cardona and Cody, they shake hands. Cody walks up the ramp and he meets Scorpio Sky. Now, Scorpio Sky was on AEW Dark. Was it last night or sometime this week? And he cut a promo basically saying he's the king of AEW Dark because he's never lost a match. But he's tired of just being on AEW Dark. And he says he's done waiting around. He's ready to kick down the door. Phenomenal promo. I listened to it and went, yeah, we need to do something with him. And here we are. They're giving him a title match next week against Cody Rhodes. Good. They rewarded his promo. That's what we should be doing. He does something awesome, reward him for it. So I look forward to that match next week. Let's talk about... What do you want to talk about? Matt Hardy? Yeah, let's talk about Matt Hardy. So apparently, Matthew Hardy, that's what he's being called now, he has dropped all of his gimmicks. He is dropping V1. He's dropping Broken. And he's dropping Big Money Matt. Now he's just Matt Hardy. Well, Matthew Hardy. He's just going to be himself. And at first I was like, huh? What? Is this a gimmick? What is this? Alright, sure. I mean, he did a promo about it on his YouTube channel, so I guess it's true. Although, why would you... My thought is this. If this is getting you over, if how you got over was broken Matt Hardy, why would you get rid of it? He was talking about that fans were complaining about him doing the broken Matt Hardy stuff, and they want him to be himself. I'm like, who's complaining about the broken Matt Hardy stuff? Who's complaining? Seriously, I know fans complain about everything, but who is complaining about this gimmick? Are people actually complaining, though? That's super weird. Super, super weird. So I don't know what the deal is there. But, yeah. Let's see where this goes. I don't think it's a real thing. I think Matt Hardy is either doing a swerve where he is pretending to be himself and then he'll go back to broken Matt Hardy. Or maybe we're getting a new persona. Didn't think about that, did you? I think he's going to do something different. He's going to do something completely different. And I like that he came out, he challenged our boy, Sammy Guevara, to a match and said he's going to hurt him. And then Sammy Guevara came out, whooped his ass, beat Matt's ass so badly, he threw a chair at his head, busted him wide open. Legit, I think he actually busted him open hard way, because he was bleeding a lot. But busted his ass open by throwing a chair at his head, and then hit a 450 off the stage through a table on Matt. It was pretty fucking sweet. And then we see like half of Matt's face bloodied up. So now I'm thinking, alright, well, is he going to be Two-Face now? Is he going to come out with a half bloody face? Is he going to be like a serial killer-ass wrestler? I don't know. I think for me, you can't just do regular Matt Hardy. You got to do something different. I think he's going to give us a new... If he's not going to give us broken Matt Hardy, it would be really cool if he did something different. Let's see. He's a very creative guy. So I don't know when that match is happening. I'm pretty sure Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy is going to happen at All Out. Because they've been building that for a while. That's going to happen at All Out. You know what else is happening at All Out? MJF versus Jon Moxley. Oh, I can't wait for that. Speaking of MJF, he had a debate. Well, not debate. He had one of those backstage debate segments where he was talking about 2020 MJF for champ or something like that. It's really hard for me to describe what it is, but just go along with it. So we get some footage of Maxwell Jacob Friedman's campaign headquarters. I love this, where he talks up the posters and pins that they're making and berates literally all his staff. Told a female staff member, if you don't smile, then don't talk at all. And she's like, well, Mr. It was really, really good stuff. And he was just an asshole, and it was beautiful, because him being an asshole is what we need. And they were just like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, master. Yes, master. Can I shine your shoes, master? Just amazing stuff from MJF. We'll see him again later on. I think next up is the debate, right? Yeah, the real debate. My favorite segment of the night. The debate between Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's literally a debate. A microphone, talk versus talk, speech versus speech. Whoever, I guess, is the better speaker wins kind of debate, like a regular political debate. So, we had a special guest moderator. They announced it was a special guest moderator last week. We all speculated. We all kind of figured that he was back. Although it's a debut, but he's back. Guess what? I got news for you. I'm back and better than ever. I'm back. That's right. ERIC Bischoff was the moderator. And he looks good. He makes that white hair look really good, by the way. So, let's just talk about this real quickly. I love that he's back. I think he was a perfect persona. A great addition to this segment. The thing is, and people are going to talk about this, people are asking for him to be hired. You really don't need to hire ERIC Bischoff. You don't. You don't need to have him on the staff. You could have him as an advisor. That's different. But don't hire him to be, I don't know, like in the creative, or especially not the creative. Please, no. If you're going to have him around, he is very good at marketing and TV production. He knows how to make someone look unique on TV, and of course, marketing. So if you want to hire him for like as an advisor for that, for production, for real, like I'm cool with that. But don't give him a job and have him make it feel like WCW from back in the 90s. I'm sorry, don't do it, because we had ERIC Bischoff come into TNA and it was garbage. So I don't want that to happen to AEW. Let's not repeat the past. ERIC can be there as an advisor, as someone who can go, all right, I think you should do this and this and this and this and this. And Tony Khan can go, yeah, thanks. But don't put him in charge. Don't. I'm serious. Don't put him in charge. Let's talk about this debate. So the first question is, why do Jericho and Cassidy hate each other? And this is the basic setup. For the first few questions, Cassidy didn't say anything. He just stood there because that's what Cassidy does. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about anybody or anything. And then Chris Jericho just ran over him. He says, he runs down how Orange Cassidy dresses for the debate, which then prompts Orange Cassidy to put on that little clip-on tie. Just amazing. Chris Jericho says this is why he despises him. He takes nothing seriously, and he thinks he's the greatest thing in history, but he's not. People laugh at Orange Cassidy, and he's a mockery to wrestling, and that's why I hate him. Second question was, who's the better wrestler? Who's the biggest star of Jericho and Cassidy? Chris Jericho tells Eric, don't be an idiot. You stupid idiot! He says if they went to high school together, he would have chased Orange Cassidy down in the hall, wedgied him against the lockers. Oh my goodness, that's how you know he's old. Wedgies? Who does that anymore? Taking his lunch money and stealing his girlfriend. And Orange Cassidy just stands there. And then we get the third question, where Eric Bischoff asks, what are your thoughts on global warming? And Chris Jericho's like, what the fuck? That's a ridiculous question. It has no bearings in the situation. And then Orange Cassidy, like a goddamn Bill Nye the Science Guy ripoff. This boy went full on Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. Professor Orange Cassidy starts speaking in this intelligent, fast, witty, well-reasoned manner about the danger presented by global warming as sea levels rise and flood coastal communities and stuff like that. It was just like, oh shit, he's very intelligent. Okay. And then everybody was like, he can talk. What? And then the fourth question comes up. And Jericho says, alright, you know what? Everything about you is wrong. I think the fourth question was, why is Orange Cassidy so popular? Yeah, and Chris Jericho's like, everything about him is wrong. He is what the problem is with wrestling. He kills wrestling. Basically what Jim Cornette said. Chris Jericho just took everything Jim Cornette said and used it against him. And then he didn't say anything. And then for the last question, why does this rematch mean so much to both of you? This is where Orange Cassidy just took over and became the highlight of the show. Jericho starts to answer, and then Cassidy cuts him off. Tells him to shut up. Shut up! McMahon style. Cassidy knows what he's doing. He says he knows what he's doing. He knows what this is. Chris Jericho scheduled a debate against a guy who doesn't talk just to embarrass him. Chris admits that's what he's doing, and Orange says he's not embarrassed because he doesn't care about any of this. He never cared about anything. But he does care about his match next week. It's the biggest match of his career, and it's the biggest match of Jericho's life. Can he imagine? He's Jericho. He's done all the things we can Google later. One of the greatest of all time. What if he loses to a guy that puts his hands in his pockets? And throughout this entire promo, y'all, goosebumps. I'm like, oh my god. What the fuck is happening? This to me was the kind of segment that makes stars. This was a home run. Everything about this. And then afterwards, Chris Jericho had Jake Hager attack Orange Cassidy and lay him out, and then people had to come and save him. I'm at the point. Beautiful. And Eric Bischoff gave the debate to Orange Cassidy. Eric Bischoff said, I think you won the debate after that global warming question. You won it. And honestly, yeah, he did. But here's the thing. This was so well done. I'm almost to the point where I hope next week doesn't happen. Like, it just goes to a non-finish. And we push that match off to All Out. This is where this has gone for me. It's almost too good to give away on TV. So I'm almost certain that next week's episode, that's going to actually not have a finish. That's going to have Orange Cassidy and Jericho go to a non-finish, and then we do the rematch, or the final match at All Out, where I think and hope and pray Cassidy wins. I think Jericho's going to put him over. Because I want it to happen. I want him to beat Jericho. You got me to wanting to see someone beat Chris Jericho. The guy that loses to everybody. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of them. This was so well done. It's incredible how night and day it is with WWE and AEW. AEW is constantly creating new stars. Constantly. You wonder why people want to leave WWE so badly. Oh my goodness. I love this. Well done. Well done. Easily the best thing of the entire show. It's not even close. Not even close. Probably the entire night for all wrestling companies. I haven't seen NXT yet. Ain't nothing on NXT that was better than this. This was pure genius. Loved it. Loved it. We had a match between Big Swole and Reba. Rebel, but Reba. Our girl, the MJ of the women's division, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, who was wearing a Michael Jordan t-shirt too. I love that Michael Jordan jersey. I love it. But she basically said, okay, look, Big Swole, you want a match against me at All Out, you gotta be an opponent of my choosing. And she chose Reba, whatever. And it was a short match. Reba got her ass knocked out by Big Swole after she missed the moonsault. And Big Swole covered her big ass. Reba got a fat ass too. Anyways, yeah, Britt Baker is mad and scared, but trying to wave it off. She is terrified. She's all like, I'll scare you. So at All Out, we're going to get Dr. Britt Baker versus Big Swole. I like it. They did a very good job building this up. It was very well built. Very well handled. I love it. I do. I think it's, I think personally, if you're going to build a women's match, if you're going to do it in a way that I care, this is how you do it. You had Britt Baker get hurt, and she was running amok, causing mayhem, being disruptive on the show, and then Big Swole just got sick of her shit and started terrorizing her. And now we got it to a point where I want to see Big Swole beat the fuck out of Britt Baker. And I think we all know that more than likely that's not going to happen. Britt Baker's going to beat her. But I don't think she should. I think Big Swole should get the victory here. But we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that when we get to the preview, which is not in a second. That's later on. Main event was a great match between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin for the AEW World Championship. The story was, as Moxley told in his promo, he wanted Allin to stay down. Jon Moxley was basically fighting himself. He's basically fighting old Jon from CZW, who can take a beating, who will take all the pain in the world to make a statement. And that was what this was. There was a nasty spot where Darby Allin flew from the stage into the ring post, and he wasn't busted open. The fuck? How do you not get busted open from that? Goddamn, Moxley got busted open from a championship hitting his skull, but Darby Allin didn't get busted open from flying into the ring post? Come on now. That was a clear busted open spot. But, okay. Excuse me. What was I saying? Now, during the match, MJF did interfere. He did interfere and hit Moxley with the belt, which helped Darby Allin get some advantage over Moxley. But before then, it was all Moxley. Moxley was just beating the shit out of him. But then he got some help from MJF. Darby Allin hits the coffin drop, and Moxley barely kicks out. And I didn't like that. I don't like that. Like, okay, it's Moxley. I get it, but no. No one should be kicking out of the coffin drop. If he hits it, it should be over. Period. Let that be the last person who kicks out of it. I'll let it go for this one time because it's freaking Jon Moxley, but I don't want to see anyone else kick out of the coffin drop. The carbon monoxide drop. What the hell? Jesus Christ. The carbon. God damn it. Coffin drop. No one else should be kicking out of it. But, you know, he tried to go for it again, and then Jon Moxley hooked him in the rear naked choke. And then hits him with the paradigm shift. After hitting him with that Gotch pile driver, he hits him with the paradigm shift and pins him. 1, 2, 3. And then we see Darby Allin and Moxley celebrate after having a good match. Moxley's consoling him, telling him, you did a good job, I'm proud of you. Proud of you, son! That, my friends, was AEW. That, my friends, was AEW Dynamite. for, what was it, the 5th of August. So next week's show is going to be very interesting. I don't think Jericho, and I don't believe they should have Jericho and Orange Cassidy have a clean finish. Push that shit off until the pay-per-view in a couple of weeks. So, let's see what happens. I'm very proud of everyone when it comes to this show. This was a great show. Other than the back-to-back tag matches in the first hour, which was annoying, like, break that up with something else. Other than that, I thoroughly enjoyed AEW tonight. Well, give me your thoughts. How do you feel about this show? Live chat's still wonky. It still won't play, so we'll get that worked on in the upcoming episodes. I swear I will have this fixed by Friday. But once again, thank you for watching. I hope you guys are having a great day. Like the video, subscribe, give me your thoughts. By the way, again, Patreon. If you want my covers, my theme song covers are on Patreon. All you gotta do is just pay $5 a month. That's it. Very cheap. You can even request a theme song cover. But you guys are amazing. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. This is Alyx. Just Alyx signing off right here in Alyx's world. Peace out.